All right, guys, so we are in our last unit of the semester. That's crazy. Um, we're in Unit 8, and we're going to talk about agribusiness management for this unit. So, the first lesson, we're just going to talk about the business side of agriculture. Agriculture is a business, and so it's important to know the business aspects of it. So, first, we're going to talk about supply and demand. So, just as all other markets, supply and demand is going to shape the agriculture market. So, supply and demand is a theory that explains the relationship between price of a product and willingness of people to either buy or sell it at that price. Okay, so if supplies are high and demand is low, prices are going to go down. So, if there's a lot of corn and there's not much demand for corn, the price is going to be cheap. But if there's a lot of corn and we don't have many, maybe we had a big, huge insect wipe out the population of corn, prices are going to skyrocket. Okay, we saw these during the pandemic with lumber, especially. We couldn't really get lumber and a lot of products, so the supply was low and the price went up. So there's a graph showing, or a chart showing supply and demand. So it seems the ideal situation for ag would be low supply and high demand. That often really doesn't work out the way it might in other industries. So rather than pay high prices for items in short supply, consumers, they may just make substitutions. So when prices get high, market share, which is the percentage of market given to a certain product or company, can actually go down. So an example, so if limes are too expensive, they may use lemons instead. And so this will be really good for the lemon industry, but lime growers have to work hard to get their production back up. And if America is like, oh, wow, I actually prefer lemons and I'm used to buying them now, I'm going to keep buying them, it may take a while to switch them back to limes. So it doesn't always work that way in agriculture. So, and another fact is that American crops have a wide range of uses. So we're not always just using crops for one thing. So the supply and demand doesn't really apply there either. So corn's a vegetable, but it's also, most of the corn is grown for animal feed and for biofuel. So this makes corn very useful. It doesn't ensure that corn prices are always high. The price of corn increases due to drought. Ranchers will switch to lower cost products to feed their livestock, so they're just not going to feed corn. So they may use soy or something else. So versatility of many crops can cause the market to turn away from those higher prices. It's the reason that markets in ag work differently than other industries, because we have so many other options that our consumers can just switch and use an alternative. Some distinct features of ag. Producers in ag, they really don't have control over their prices than those, say, in like a clothing industry. They can really determine their prices. Agriculturists are really dependent on the consumer. Their products are perishable, so if they don't sell it right off the bat, that apple is only going to get worse until it's unable to be sold. So we have to make our products reasonable. So milk has a short window where it can be consumed safely. If milk prices drop, the producer essentially can choose to let the milk spoil or accept the lower price. So they can either waste it or take the lower price. They can't, we can't hold on to the products because it's just going to go bad. So they may end up reducing the number of cows, and this could have long-term negative consequences when the market comes back. So it's really, you've got to pay attention. There's a lot of research and numbers to it. So a good way that farmers protect themselves is by forming a co-op or a cooperative, which is a group of producers working together. Most of the ag industry is small farmers. So when they unite, they get together and they have more power. So like if all the tomato growers in a certain region demand the same price, the suppliers are forced to pay that same price. Another way is advertising. Rarely, individual farmers, they're going to advertise their tomatoes or their crops. Majority of consumers probably could not tell you where their produce or dairy products come from. A supplier may be stocking produce from several farms. So, unlike other industries, like the auto industry where advertising is essential, agriculture tend to work together by commodity, which is the item they produce for sale. So, like a commodity is an ag good that is produced, like milk or corn or anything like that. So, a famous example was the Got Milk campaign. That was selling all of milk, not just one farmer. So sometimes commodity producers in the state will come together to emphasize their product, like the Got Milk campaign. These kinds of efforts are common in states with large ag industries to feel the benefits of those products.